Dylan here. Yes, Tom Dillon, the lifetime liberal. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. The title of this rant is Trump and his sycophants hide extensive damage to U.S. assets in the Middle East. So, just real quick, I came from work. I said, I got to get this out because if I get too tired, I won't do it later today. And I had this shirt on. And yes, I made a donation last week, a blood donation last week, which was number 150. In addition to all the ranting and raving that I'm doing, I'm trying to think that I am contributing something good in this world. Like I said, 150 donations. If I did 6 every year, that would take 25 years. So congratulations to me. So again, Trump and his sycophants hide extensive damage to U.S. assets in the Middle East. So right now, we're almost in our 10th week of this war. And gas prices are still going up, even though, they went down for a couple of days on the world market. They went back up a little bit again today. But the stock market went down, which is clearly an indication that the prices might go up again. But gas prices are up, and the Straits of Hormuz are still closed. And how long is it going to be closed now that we're in our 10th month? Now, I mentioned some of this last week, and I had 2 different responses. One said, how do you know this? Because it was reported, but it wasn't really reported much by the mainstream press. And then someone else, kind of challenged me, prove it. Well, it's kind of proved today because the Washington Post had a very big article about this. I'm going to just read, because I don't get the Washington Post anymore. I did get it, but I said, no, I'm not going to, even though I love the Post, they have a lot of stuff in there that is not even related to the world at hand and politics, etc., that I like. But unfortunately, they have a really a-hole as an owner. So I'm not going to do it. I did find an article from the Jerusalem Post, which pretty much goes over everything. I'm going to read just a couple quick paragraphs. Iranian strikes have damaged or destroyed at least 228 structures or pieces of equipment at U.S. military bases across the Middle East since the war began on February 28th, according to a Washington Post investigation published Wednesday that analyzed satellite imagery. So 207, you can't tell me that any one of those structures probably costed, not many of them costed less than $1 million. And there was extensive damage that was done. That's a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you right now, that means, and that clearly means, Iran had the means, and they were prepared, and they followed through, and they hit the targets. They hit them well, and they still can do that. So going on, the report said the scale of damage was significantly wider than what the U.S. government had previously acknowledged. The damage was identified at 15 military bases in the Middle East, including Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates. The Post said it found 217 damaged or destroyed structures, 11 damaged pieces of equipment, including hangars, barracks, warehouses, fuel depots, aircraft, radar systems, communication sites, and defense assets. Again, another clear indication that Iran knew exactly where these places were and knew exactly what they needed to do. I'm not going to say it was a coordinated effort, but they hit their targets and they just did a lot of damage. And our government was talking about how much we were destroying their stuff. The report said some of the heaviest damage was concentrated at the Naval Support Activity Bahrain, which hosts the Navy's 5th Fleet, and 3 Kuwait-based facilities, didn't he name them. Iranian strikes also hit Patriot missile defense equipment in Bahrain and Kuwait, satellite communication sites at a base in Qatar, radomes at multiple facilities, and THAAD-related radar and equipment in Jordan and UAE, according to the report. Again, multiple locations across thousands of miles that Iran just happened to hit after the U.S. started bombing them. So what I'm trying to say is, wow, they're keeping that away because everything they've been telling us for the last 2 months about how great we're doing destroying everything is all BS. So I want to talk about a couple things here about what the results of that is and how it's going to be damaging us incredibly. Arab countries are furious at us. Why? Because we couldn't protect them. They're now talking to Ukraine to buy drones to protect them from this type of stuff because we couldn't protect them. It also indicates that the U.S. was totally unprepared to protect anything in these Arab countries, and we're totally unprepared. Let's just say unprepared is another word for saying negligent about protecting their own stuff over there in the Middle East. All right. So the Post also said that guess what? Iran could hold out 4 months. Wow. That doesn't fit into Trump's timeline. And since they know that they can do that, and they're more hardline than the previous administration, in Iran, do you think that they're going to try and make a bargain on Trump's badgering them all the time? That's not going to happen. And it also said, the Post also said that not only can they hold out, but they still have a sizable amount of drones and missiles, which means they still have lots of firepower to go after U.S. bases and to go after assets of other Arab countries. And they're concerned about that. And of course, Iran's not playing Trump's game. They haven't done it at all. He wants to do this thing in 30 days. Hey, they're going to take their sweet time. They know they have the cards. There's not going to be a quick settlement, I don't think. He doesn't have the cards. So I just want to bring up a couple things at the end. This week, Saudi Arabia basically told the U.S., "Hey, you're not going to use our airspace." Because we kind of just acted like we could just use it, just however we wanted to. Remember, both Italy and Spain said that also. So again, U.S. is running around like they can do anything, and they really, really can't. Saudis aren't happy about that. And Trump called up MBS, and he still didn't get to do what he wanted to. All right? Now, commercial satellite companies have been holding back on these satellite images because their biggest their biggest client is the U.S. government, and the U.S. government is trying to say, "Hey, we don't want this stuff published." Why? Why? Because it shows that we don't know what we're doing over there, and that Iran is holding a lot of stuff, and it's going to take a long time to get out of this. Also, I'm going to bring up something that brings it right back to home. Whirlpool shares, they went down about 12% earlier today, and because they're saying the effects of this war is affecting their sales here in the U.S. McDonald's has indicated that even McDonald's is too expensive because people are now paying so much more for gas. That's the same with Whirlpool, that they don't have enough time for McDonald's. So all I can say is I'm getting tired of winning. I'm getting tired of winning. Trump needs to tax all of his billionaires and give us at least a $2,000 untariff rebate check, basically to help us pay for all of the added expense that he has brought to every single American in this country, except for the super, super rich, in terms of gas prices, food prices, and everything else, and tariff prices. We need that. And again, I know that Arab countries, they don't like Iran. No, they don't. They wish they could get rid of them. But at the same time, they trade with them. And they all know, guess what? If the U.S. continues to bomb Iran, they know that the U.S. cannot protect these Arab countries and that Iran can hit them. This is not going well. We need to get rid of this guy. We need to protest, and we need to vote every one of those sycophants that's in that, because remember, every Republican is behind this in the House and Senate. We need to get rid of every single one.